Good afternoon, YouTubers, podcasters, Sales Academy friends, family, tweeters, LinkedIners, the great people, Facebookers, wherever you're listening and following. Thank you, and please share away, enjoy, and take away some snippets from these musings. So today's musing, I want to talk to you about the habit of recognizing and rewarding ourselves. Some people do this extremely well, other people don't. And I see more commonly that we don't. So I wanted to talk about this subject because I was inspired by two good friends of mine, business people, successful business people in South Wales. So let's mention this couple. This is a couple that I admire, and I love their attitude towards life and business, each other, their inability to just give up, their acceptance of mistakes, and their continual desire to improve as people, as human beings, and as business owners and as parents. So a round of applause for Dan and Rachel Stanley. So Dan Stanley runs a brilliant business, Better Men Coaching, as well as other things that he does like Men and Mountains, which I can't wait to get up the mountains with the guys later this year. And Rachel runs a fantastic business, commercial cleaning business called Mrs. Bouquet, an award-winning commercial cleaning business. And these guys are at Dormy House this week. And the reason I mention it is because on their social stuff, they're really showing us and sharing with us how to just kick back and enjoy and recognize and reward ourselves for a really busy period. Rachel's business has been manic during COVID. You know, there's been a lot of commercial businesses trying to reopen and make sure they've got everything clean and stuff, and schools and commercial premises, manufacturing plants, stuff. And their guys have been going in complete disinfecting units, buying new machinery, training new guys up on new stuff. So it's been non-stop for them, and they've delivered above and beyond. So they're taking a few days out, no kids, no work, just themselves. And it kind of culminated with a fantastic drum solo. Rachel and Dan, if you're watching and listening, a fantastic drum solo from Rachel. And then Dan's laugh right at the end of that was just mint. So I celebrate you guys. I'm proud of you guys. And yeah, thank you for reminding me and our listeners and followers how to celebrate the wins. So to come on to that subject in a bit more detail, you know, successful businesses, I see this, they're not that good at it either. And I mean, at the top of the tree, yeah, you get dividends and shareholders and directors get dividends and stuff, and you can live nice lives off it and stuff like that. But we work exceptionally long hours and take on a lot of responsibility, including livelihoods and other people's mortgages when you get very successful in a large business. But the habit of rewarding ourselves, whether we're big or small, whether we're startup or multi-million, is something that is vital for us to continue. Because we don't get the boss that speaks to us and says, oh, you're doing great. Well done, keep going. When you said that, it really made a difference. When you did that, it really made me feel this way. And that inspired me to go on and to keep going despite and stuff. And hey, here's a voucher, here's a new car, here's a whatever, you know. We don't do that as much as business owners. You know, a lot of us get into the habit of, in the early stages where you're trying to grow your business and reinvest into your business, then you take on employees and staff, and sometimes people, and you'll be amazed how many people I talk to that operate like this, where they pay themselves last and pay everybody else first. And I can say quite honestly, I've done that in the past. I've been that pony, and it's not a healthy thing to do, you know. So we get into business to live a different life. But some of the mechanisms and tools that are in place when we are employed or in other businesses or in other lives stuff, we have the right to implement those in our own lives. So this doesn't have to be massive. You know, Rachel and Dan have gone to Dormy House, and it's a beautiful spa in the middle of the Cotswolds. It's not cheap, you know, it's eye-watering, but it's beautiful and it's worth it. And I recommend anybody going to Dormy House, you will never ever forget it and you'll want to go back. But rewards can be little, you know. I was talking on a network meeting earlier this week, and setting intentions for a network meeting. I don't go to a network meeting to do business in the room. I go to a network meeting to make connections. So I set an intention of 5 new LinkedIn connections per network meeting. Well, that doesn't sound much, but 5 new network meetings, network connections on LinkedIn times 5 days, times a month, times a year, the numbers mount up pretty quickly. So that's an intention and a focus and a target. But what do I do to reward myself? Well, this morning, for example, I took time out with my youngest because they're with their mum for the next 5 days. So I'm not going to see them. So rather than getting up early and cracking straight on and doing loads of stuff and running different businesses, you have to do that. I got up this morning and I invested time with my boy because it was important I do. And that was my reward and his reward, because we've had some good time over the last few days. And we've set some things to do and he's achieved them, and it's been lovely. So that was my morning. That was my reward. Didn't cost anything, just time. Time is our biggest asset. And in terms of love, children's spell, love, kind of TIME. So Gabe got a lot from that. I got a lot from that. And it was beautiful. Last night, I opened a bottle of Prosecco. It was National Prosecco Day. So celebrating signing up another client yesterday. Those are the little wins. So we need to get into the habit of recognizing these little wins and build it into our day, build it into our lives. So I like to go for a curry. I like to book myself a little weekend away with my partner and stuff. What are the things that you can do to recognize? So is it that you go and buy that nice bottle of wine that is a little bit out of your normal price range? It's not the £5, it's up near the 8, 9, 10, 12 pound bottle of wine, but you really love that bottle of Sauvignon Blanc. So why not go for it? Why not recognize yourself? Is it going for a meal just to do it? Is it getting a takeaway? You know, what are the little things you can do, as well as then what are the bigger things you can do to set even larger goals and larger aspirations, larger intentions to go and achieve and reward yourself? Either way, the habit of recognizing and rewarding yourselves is one that only you can do, and only one that you can implement, and only one that you can see through. I promise you this: once you create that habit of recognizing and rewarding yourself, you will never, ever change it. You will never go back, because there's no one else doing this in our lives. We have to be our biggest champion. And as a leader in life, I think it's important to lead from the front. So when we champion ourselves, and when we celebrate our wins, and when we show others that it's okay to be that way and to do that humbly, authentically, and unapologetically, leaders create more leaders. And I think that's our role. So just have a think about that. What are the habits that you can do? What are the rewards and recognition that you can put in place for yourself to demonstrate and recognize and share your wins? Have a great week. Thank you for listening. And if you enjoy the podcast, take a look at some of the others. There's a range of interviews on there, as well as musings. And we're looking forward to developing the podcast even further. Got some news on some special guests coming soon as well. Take care. Speak to you soon.